Assassination of the president in Haiti. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahushai Bashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. The Shabbat Chanak. Just coming back with another quick lesson. Just wanted to touch on this really quickly, because all these things that we go into, ultimately they all revolve around prophecy. Just to keep your mind, ready, because of the things that are going on. Pretty much all hell really is breaking loose around the world. Now, what I have here is, this is on Vice News. I'm not going to play this video. This is a video I actually didn't watch the video, but I seen it came on my feed a while back. And I remember 2020 during this whole scamdemic, Haiti, which that's the tribe of Levi. Haiti was going through, pretty much sedition. They were catching pure hell. Now this is March 12th. Vice did this little piece here on Haiti. Like I said, I'm not gonna play the video. The video possibly get taken down. I'll play another video. But it says here, Haiti has had enough of gangs kidnapping and its president. Okay, and its president. And as of today, the Haitian president was assassinated. Okay. So let me play this video. And we're not going to go into the details, who, this and that and this. It's really touching in on this sedition. And we're seeing this actually happen all around the world. Now, Esau Edom, he's not covering these things when Haiti's been going through pure hell for a minute. In poverty, just like Central and South America. Okay, so there's a lot of coups happening, but of course Esau is only going to give you what he wants you to look at, right? He wants you to look at two men kissing on each other, two women laying down with each other. There's an agenda, especially when it's towards you, Jakes. But let me play this.
We begin with a breaking story at this hour. According to Haiti's Prime Minister's office, the country's president, Jovenel Moise, was assassinated overnight while in his residence. Now, according to officials, the group of individuals who carried out the attack were unknown. Some were reportedly speaking in Spanish, and the president's wife was also injured in the attack. We will be getting you more on that story when we get it here on France 24.
Now, supposedly, this president, he was backed by the U.S. And there's a lot of times where the U.S., they'll get their puppet in there. And then, years later, the people will revolt and get somebody else in there that's really actually for the people somewhat, give more power to the people of that land. And then Esau, he'll come in, he'll do another coup to take it over, because he wants the resources. If you look into it, who gets all the resources from Haiti? Okay, Esau Edom. Okay, why did the Haitians speak French? Okay, we can go into that history, but I want to hit a couple of scriptures, because this is one thing we're seeing all around the world, and these are pretty much signs and tokens to let us know that we're at the end. And as more draconian measures come, as more food shortages, more natural disasters, more judgments, ultimately more plagues happen, people are going to, pretty much revolt against the powers to be. This is Luke 21:25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations. Let's look at this word distress, because it doesn't look like, it doesn't look like, they're in pleasure. They're rejoicing. Okay, the tribe of Levi over there in Haiti, they're catching nothing but pure hell. Okay, ultimately, it's the judgment of the Lord. Okay, ultimately, we understand that. but it doesn't look like they're in pleasure. It looks like they're in distress. Now you can watch this video on your own. Okay, let's read in the description box. For weeks, thousands of angry protesters have been marching through the streets of Haiti's capital, demanding that President Jovenel Moïse step down. Okay, basically, he was supposed to step down. He had a pretty much he wanted to stay in there for another 12 months. Okay, and the people, they're not blaming the elites, which are causing all these problems. They're blaming who? They're blaming the leaders. Okay, and that's exactly what the wicked elites want. They don't want you to point the finger at them. And there's another video I was watching when they were talking about they want democracy, democracy, democracy. And Jake doesn't know. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's go back. Let's just look at, because Jake is destroyed for a lack of knowledge, ultimately. Okay, the word distress.
Strong's G 4928. Sunache. Sunache.
Let's come down here. It says metaphorically, straits, Strait, right? Which we know that to be a path of difficulty, distress, anguish. Now down here, when you come into the Strong's definition, it says restraint, figuratively, anxiety, anguish, distress. And we're seeing this all around the world. Remember those protests in Hong Kong? What about out there in France, right? These things are still going on. Yet if mainstream media is not going to cover these things, okay, they want to cover and create the narrative that they want to push. But see, what's going to happen is these things are going to overspill to where you're not going to be able to not cover them. They're going to be in your face. So let's read that again. It says, and upon the earth, distress of nations. This looks like distress of nations. Let's look at another. Let's see if we can find like another video. Let's do this. Let's do this. Al Jazeera, that might be good. I just want to, let's see. Yeah, let's play Al Jazeera.
Clashes between the opposition and security
This is this
forces
year, February
right next
this year.
to the presidential palace.
It's been going on since 2020.
It's become a regular occurrence on the streets
and
of Port-au-Prince.
a lot of people have been put to death through these protests. These protests are violent, not like here in America, which you might have one or two people die, but they actually have armed troops, the military going at it with the civilians, and people are getting put to death. So this is February, a couple months back, right, beginning of this year, and they were demanding for this president to step down.
Protesters continue to demand President Jovenel Moïse steps down.
It's a strike against kidnapping, against hunger in the country, and we are sending a clear message to the president to respect the Constitution.
Earlier this week, transport unions and other workers went on a 2-day strike denouncing institutional violence and an alarming rise in kidnappings. Human rights groups say at least 1,000 people were kidnapped in 2020.
When someone is kidnapped, the person must go to the street and ask for Jovenel Moïse to give him security. That's the reason why we organize 2 days of lockout to show Jovenel Moïse that we can't accept this situation, But as soon as the lockout finish, the kidnapping will start quickly.
Haiti's opposition says it's time for Moïse to go. They say his mandate ends this Sunday. But Moïse disagrees. He says his 5-year term began when he was sworn in 2017 and that he still has 1 year in power. But members of the opposition say Moïse's term began in 2016 in the wake of chaotic elections.
You're seeing it. Let me go back to that right there. You're seeing this all around the world. You're seeing people come up and fight against the government, the powers to be. Okay, the military or whatever, police force, task force that they, riot force, task force that they have out there to basically, calm the people. But the people are upset. They're mad. They're angry. Okay, let me bring out another scripture. We always bring this scripture out. Proverbs 29. Okay. I mean, that's that picture right there. That you see that all around the world, even here in America. Okay, whether it be Black Lives Matter, Antifa, whether it be some type of human rights group, whether it be protesting, lockdown, protesting anti-vaxxer, so to speak. Okay, whatever it may be, indigenous, whatever it may be, you're seeing this. You're seeing military, you're seeing the police and military equipment. They're militarized, in all black, in riot gear, and then you're seeing people, so-called, chanting against the government. Which these people, these police officers, they're just taking orders. You see that? They're just taking orders. But see, it's gonna come a point to where people are not gonna give a shit about nothing. Okay? They're gonna be just destroying each other. Okay, especially when there's a high level lack of food. Because out there it's a lack of resources out there, man. It's an actual lack of resources. How much more here in America? Okay, you don't see no overweight people out there in Haiti. Not like that unless you're doing good. You see? And you see the president over here to the right, which we see him, right? Jovenel Moïse. Smooth face, bald head. You know the nigga was set up. Okay, so we're gonna see more of this. Okay, even here in America, and we're gonna bring that scripture out in 2nd Ezra. Okay, but let's go here. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Okay, it doesn't look like the tribe of Levi is rejoicing. If we go into the history of Haiti, okay, it's that's the island of Hispaniola, man. Okay, we go into the history of Haiti and how so many different atrocities that were committed against those people, which are our people, as well as they still owe, reparations to the French. Ain't that some shit? Go into the history, man. Go into this and see Esau, you're being exposed. Okay, your plan is not going to work because this is all part of Esau's plan, order out of chaos. He wants total, all-out chaos throughout the earth, and then he's going to come in with the order. He's going to come in with this world government, this piece of shit, okay? But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Okay, there's enough resources. There's enough resources to go around. Okay, let me come down here. Proverbs 29:7. It says, the righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it. These Edomites, okay, they don't give a goddamn. They actually love it. Let's prove that. Proverbs 4. Let's prove that. These people that are in rulership are the epitome of evil. Okay? Proverbs 4:16, for they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. See? So these people, these Edomites, the elite in high places, they love this. They love this chaos. They feed off that energy. They feed off of chaos and mourning all around the world while they live in pleasure. Let's bring out James. These Edomites, man. When we get you Edomites, man, we're not gonna be nice to you. Okay? We're not gonna be nice to you. Right? This is James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Because they're taking advantage of, especially our people, the Israelites. Give me a second. Just sipping some tea. Okay, they're taking advantage, especially our people, the Israelites, and they're taking all their resources and they're putting them into debt. Okay, the borrower is subject to the lender. Okay, you're subject, you're a servant unto these lenders. And who's the lenders? Esau, Edom. Okay, starting with Amalek. Okay, the 1948ers, the ones that say that they're us. Okay, the imposters. But the scripture is saying, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you." You've been set up. You've been set up. You've been living good. You lived good for a minute, but all that shit's about to be taken away from you. And we're reading it. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Meaning you didn't get, your riches by fair play. You didn't, get it by, I actually, I did, service. I made a business and I dealt equitably. I dealt equal. I worked hard by my own blood, sweat, and tears. Okay, I didn't take advantage of anybody. No, you did the total exact opposite. You killed, you murdered. This can't even say kill. You murdered, you raped, and you robbed, and then you put people in debt, and then you lied. Okay, but see, the joy of the hypocrite is yet for a moment. You had your fun. Now fun time is over to you Edomites. Okay, for you Edomites, fun time is over. Okay, the Most High is going to come and he's going to get you. We're reading about it. We're reading about your downfall, your destruction. Because yeah, all these things are going on in the earth. These are signs, these are tokens, signals to let us know the day of the Lord is coming. Yahweh Shai is coming. And we're reading about it. We're reading the prophecy. You know what? Before we go there, we got to go back to Luke 21. We got to finish this. Luke 21 and 25 again. "And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth distress of nations." And we read that. We got that definition of distress. One of those words were anxiety, man. Okay, of nations with perplexity. The sea and the waves roaring. Let's look at this word perplexity. I always do it. To be in a state of perplexity. Okay, that's hell, man.
Strong's G 640. Aparria.
Okay, it doesn't really give us too much there. Let's go to the Edamon. Let's see what the Edamon says. Perplexity, bewilderment, doubt, uncertainty. You see that? Confusion, perplexity, confused, involved, interwoven, intertangled, to twine. You know what? Because it says uncertainty. Elder brother, he sent a video. Let me see. Let's see. Give me a second. Right here. Let's play this. And I'm all over the place, but hey, Lord's will is edifying. We bouncing from here to there. But let's play this real quick, and we're gonna hit them other scriptures. We're gonna go back into the James 5, Esau. "We have not forgot about you."
Francisco, and the city has been open for weeks, and it may
Look, right there. Drowning in debt. San Francisco is drowning in debt. COVID reopening. Struggling restaurants face uphill battle in San Francisco. And this is just a microcosm of everywhere around the world. Everywhere around the world. Because you have the lockdown, and then what do these governments do? Say, okay, here, you lock down, we'll loan you some money. We'll loan you some money. Now you're in debt so you can keep your business afloat, but now it's a reopening and it don't look like you're going to make any money. Let's play it. So this is a short video.
Like things are getting back to normal, but tonight, many businesses are still in the red. KPIX5's Betty Yu is live in North Beach, where restaurants are facing that uphill climb. Betty.
That's right, Juliet. SF may be fully reopened, but many restaurants are still operating at a loss. And we're talking about six-figure debts, and that's not uncommon.
This is our round pizza. This is pepperoni. This is cheese.
Chef and owner Dennis Lee never planned on serving specialty sourdough pizzas in the former space of Namu's Stone Pot on Divisadero. He closed his Korean restaurant last month in favor of something more approachable and affordable for guests. The location came back to life at Sunset Square Slice Shop last Friday.
And even though we started to open up, it's still a lot of, we feel a lot of stress coming from not
Stress, right? We just read that in in Luke 21. Okay, right? And upon the earth, distress of nations. Okay, on all levels: financial stress, economic stress, political stress. Okay, all type of stress. Let's continue. So if you don't know what the hell is going on, man, you better get your ass off the you better start knowing what's going on. There's so much information out there.
consumers, but also like the people who we hire and the people who have worked for us thus far. So trying to
look at his countenance. Did this dude seem like he's doing good? Look at his eyes all puffy. He's catching pure hell, man. Before all this, he had a Korean restaurant. In San Francisco. He was making that big money. Okay?
a little bit.
Lee started experimenting with the square-shaped sourdough pizzas during the pandemic. It became a social media hit, but he says opening weekend over the 4th was slow, and like many restaurants, debts loom overhead.
We're looking at a lot of debt. I mean, it's an astronomical amount of debt. It's kind of a lot of
an astronomical amount of debt. How the hell are you gonna pay that back?
Uncertainty and
right. That's what I wanted
the anxiety
right there.
Around kind of a lot of uncertainty and even the anxiety around COVID and
play that again.
We're looking at a lot of debt. I mean, it's an astronomical amount of debt. It's kind of a lot of uncertainty and even the anxiety around COVID. And
we read those definitions: uncertainty and anxiety. Okay. Distress and perplexity. That's what's going on in all levels. Okay?
And variants and stuff like that.
Variants, they're scared of variants.
Kind of like general stress for the public.
The nonprofit SF New Deal found in a survey that 60% of restaurants are currently in debt, compared to more than 30% pre-pandemic.
I'm done with there. And, it says 60% of restaurants. Well, here in San Francisco, I want to say at least half of the restaurants are out of business. So do the numbers, do the math. But let's go back. Let's go back. That's all I really wanted. You can watch the video if you want, the rest of the video. Let's go back to this word perplexity. It says bewilderment, doubt, uncertainty. See? He said it. Confusion. Right? Confused. We got that. We got the information on that. Okay? It says, with perplexity, the seas and the waves roaring, men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Because this is nothing yet. You people have not experienced really anything yet. Okay? We're speaking about the build-up. Okay? And at the height, at the peak, Yahushua is gonna come, okay, with that cloud, with that chariots. And that's another thing, okay? The U.S. government is now acknowledging UAPs, so-called UFOs, which we know them to be the chariots of the Heavenly Father, and they're not looking at it as, okay, these things are friendly. They're looking they're looking at it at a threat, which it is a threat. Okay, and you're about to be beaten to powder. Okay, but let's go back to you elites. Okay, that are causing all this havoc and mayhem in the earth. Well, we read in Proverbs the 4th chapter that you don't even sleep unless you have caused some to fall. So you love this. Esau, he'll just turn on the TV and he'll just have an orgasm. Okay, because of all the things that are happening. People just catching hell. You know, this dude's a sick puppy. Let's read verse 2 again in James 5. Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. See? It's going all, hey, Esau, your history is a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have reaped treasures together for the last days. Yeah, you heat them all up. And you know, we going to get those riches. Okay, Esau. So you did the heavy lifting. Because the Most High, he gonna when he send his son back, we gonna divide the spoils. Okay, and you gonna be part of the spoils. You and your whole nation. Okay, as well as all the riches that you stole. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth. I'm sorry, I skipped the verse. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth. Everybody's crying. Okay, starting with the Israelites. And the cries of them were which have reaped, because you don't give, a just wage, okay, for labor, are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies. Okay, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, ye have been wanton, ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just. This is Esau. And he does not resist you. Yeah. Jake is not fighting against Esau, Edom. They're saying, they're killing their own. Okay. They're not saying it's the elites. We need to take these people down. They're talking about peace and they're talking about we need to march peacefully. Okay. We need democracy. Okay, so Jake is not fighting against the powers. There'll be little skirmishes here and there, but they can't pinpoint who the problem is. Okay, we are the prophets. We're able to pinpoint who is the issue or who is the problem of the earth. Okay, so that's it on that. Let's where we at? Let's finish up here. Proverbs 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. This is where it's going to come down to. For there shall be sedition among men, uprising against the government. Okay, a call for fighting the powers. Okay, not abiding by the certain edicts and laws, okay, of these different governments. They're going to say, to hell with that. And they're going to be coming for you leaders, just like they came for the president of Haiti. Okay, and they put his ass to death. Now, whether it was Esau or whether it was actual fringe group, who knows? But we do know the nigga's dead. Okay. And invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. See? So, I mean, that's pretty much it on that. I just wanted to touch on that, really quickly. I seen that this morning, and I remember, not too long ago, actually seeing Haiti just catch nothing but pure hell. They were actually been protesting and going at it with the government for a minute, for some months now since the whole lockdown, So, hey, we'll come back with some more videos, Lord's will. Until next time, shalom to the elect.